Let's check in on some Yahoo Finance trending tickers here, starting with CVS, as the company is reportedly closing in on a deal to acquire primary care center operator Oak Street Health for over $10 billion. And CVS is just, looks like it just wants to gobble up so many of these locations. At what point do regulators step in here and say, hey, why CVS is going to have all of our health data, essentially?
Well, I mean, because it's sort of horizontal integration, I guess. In other words, it's getting into different... Let me back up. The primary care business is still very, very fragmented across the United States. So maybe at some point, yes, regulators are going to step in. But CVS is not the only one. Amazon is trying to do this as well with One Medical, although the FTC is reportedly looking at that deal. So maybe, yes, we will see regulators step in. But I've just been fascinated by this trend recently of other kinds of integrated healthcare companies getting into the doctor business. It's a sort of a strange turn of events.
I think what's remarkable about this for CVS is that not only would you have the ability for management of some of the different kind of healthcare insurance plans. We know, of course, the CVS Aetna deal that had taken place back in 2017, 2018, and how that set them up to fuse together the pharmacy side of the business with the insurance side of the business. And then you go forward even further from here. It's all of these primary care centers, to your point, Julie, that have been getting even more of the looks. Amazon's acquisition of PillPack was no coincidence, I should say, because that set them up similar to combining a pharmacy then later on with another type of primary care play with the One Medical acquisition there that's getting some holes poked in it as well. But I think at the end of the day, this $39 per share equity and debt type of deal that we're seeing for CVS just further some of the attentions, not just to manage the data, but hopefully to add further of a vertical integration and a seamless experience for end consumers around this, because the healthcare system is so siloed in many different respects. And if we're able to see some entities start to bring that together and make sure that it's not harming some of the competitive landscape as well in the process, I would say that that's good for consumers as long as pricing does not skyrocket higher.
Well, hopefully the opposite will happen.
Right.
I mean, Amazon is known for value, right? Mm-hmm. Known for trying to keep prices down, sometimes at the expense of margins. So will this be something, and my guess is this is what the acquirers will argue, that can actually bring down costs for consumers and for insurers? Whether that's the case, I think remains to be seen. I mean, listen, if I'm CVS and I own Aetna, and I'm also providing care, don't I want costs to be low for Aetna? The problem is also if you are sacrificing quality of care, if you are trying to save costs by saying no to covering certain things. I mean, so it's all, I don't know. I feel like I need to talk to Megan Fitzgerald about all of this, who's a frequent guest on the show.
Well, speaking of silos,
she knows a lot about this.
Absolutely. I mean, just speaking of silos, I walk into a CVS store at these thousands of stores, and now they're also in Target. There's no clear indication they even own Aetna. So if they go out and buy this asset, when do they really start integrating it into the store experience? I would argue they have not done a good job of that. And, of course, reach out to CVS for comment on this deal. They did not return our request for comment.
Yeah, I think that was part of the strategy, excuse me, at the outset of that acquisition. They had said kind of early on, I think a few years back, that they were still going to let Aetna be a standalone. But, again, I think it is smart for them, to your point, to start to fuse together the two brands a little bit more, at least let the common consumer know that there is this conjunction and an effort to hopefully add more of the ability for them to engage and kind of decide what pricing strategy works best for the household level, too.
Yeah, someday I guess you'll be able to walk into a CVS, and if you buy a chocolate bar, you'll get an alert on your phone saying, you're on Aetna, you may want to put that chocolate bar down,
right.
folks. Not good for your cholesterol.
If they know
one for the
everything.
grave. Put that bar down.